What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Intersint podcast. This is episode 18. Canoodle, what is up with you?
Ew, what? No, take that back. I don't like that.
I thought of that last night. I was like,
Ew.
Canoodle, I'm going to use that on the next intro.
Why?
I don't know. It works. How are you? What are you up to?
I was broken.
You were what?
I was broken.
What does that mean?
Last weekend, I went on a hike. The first one for this year, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I went on a hike, did not realize how much gain in elevation this would be. I figured, it's like a 3-mile hike one way?
Which that has screwed us in the past as well.
It screwed me up this time too. Did not in the middle of the drive there, it started raining really hard.
Oh yeah, we're in rainy season now, so
we're in fake rainy season right now.
Yeah, now we're back in summer season.
Yeah, it's gonna be like 87 this week. It's like, really? the one weekend I go on a hike, it rains.
Yeah, of course.
But on the way there, it was raining, and I was just like, I don't want to do this, but it's the only chance I will probably get to have a free weekend to go on a hike, and so I took it. And of course, on the drive back was when it was all nice and sunny.
Oh, of course, yeah. That's how it always works. No matter where you go, it's always like, oh, I want to do this thing. Rain. Okay, I guess I'm not going to do it. I'm going to just stay inside. Rain goes away. Every time.
Mm-hmm. Every time. But didn't realize, as it was raining, I'd be stepping in, overflowing, rivers and, puddles and just mud. My boots that we got last year are all just filled with mud.
Oh, no.
So I had to spend a good chunk of time coming back down, cleaning it in the water that was running.
Oh, yeah.
And even then, it was just it wasn't worth it.
Did you at least bring extra socks to change into whenever you got back?
My socks are waterproof.
Oh, that's nice.
Got waterproof socks, got waterproof hiking boots. I was dry by the time I got back to the car.
Nice. I mean, we got screwed by that before where we went on a hike. And we got to the lookout point and we see a sign that's like, oh, here's another lookout point 5 miles away. And you and I are like, that's 5 miles. That's not too bad. We can easily do that.
That's doable.
Never calculated in my head how far 5 miles actually was. And we spent, another 3 hours or something heading in that direction.
Pretty much.
Quickly learned, 5 miles is a lot farther when you're on foot than it is in a car.
Yeah.
I don't know why we were so confident that day either. It was just...
I think it was just one of those days where we had nothing else planned. So I was just we have nothing better to do. We're done with this hike early. Might as well just go up there.
True. Yeah.
But the drive back, my knee started to hurt really bad.
You finally hit that age.
Thank you. I did. But my knee started to hurt, and I didn't really realize how bad it would get until I got home.
Oh, yeah.
My entire left leg was just broken. I couldn't use it.
Nope. It's pretty much trying to go from standing to seating. It's I can't do this because I can't use my leg. Doing the reverse, trying to even walk, going up and down steps. Your leg is useless.
Oh yeah, because I had to do laundry and everything too. Take a shower, get all the rain and mud off of me, and I was just I don't want to do any of this.
It's almost like your knee is broken, is how it feels.
Yeah.
It's it's the worst pain ever.
Mm-hmm. But then this weekend was just this past weekend was just so busy too, because I went to another concert with one of my coworkers who invited me out there.
Oh yeah.
I was so exhausted.
Oh yeah, I guess this is right after the hike, right?
Yeah, this was the day after the hike. And I don't know what it is, but I haven't been sleeping all that well.
I mean, that's the story of our life.
I've been waking up an hour before my alarm.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't go back to sleep. So it's I'm awake an hour before I need to be. I can't go back to sleep. My entire day is ruined.
Mm-hmm.
And so went to the concert. I was wide awake. We were having fun, chatting, just having a good, fun walk around downtown. Took the light rail down there. Had dinner. Come concert time. We got to our seats. I'm extremely sleepy. My coworker's just telling me a story of the office before I got there and how there's just so many people who are just there and why they got fired. My eyes were just so heavy. She's like, you do know you're falling asleep, right? Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm so sorry. I can hear you. I just can't keep my eyes open.
Oh, yeah, because we recorded the last episode that morning.
We did, right.
And I kept making comments about how you were falling asleep before we even got to start recording.
I couldn't even open my eyes. It was to the point where I was like, let me close my eyes so I can conserve my energy.
And then it was one of those things of once we were like, you picked it up when we started recording, energy was high. And then the instant we were done recording, your eyes went back to close and you're like, okay, I'm done.
The second I hit the stop record button, I was like, yeah, no,
I need to go take a nap now.
It's nap time. But the opener was, can I roast them?
Sure.
Okay.
I guess.
The opener was a band called TX2, and I don't like them. You can look up why. I'm not going to get into that here. You can look up why they are problematic. I fell asleep through their set. And I look over to my friend. She's looking at me. She's like, nice.
Which is relieving too, because I thought I was the only person who fell asleep in just the random spots.
I'm getting to be that age.
You're now getting to where like even loud noises doesn't matter and you're falling asleep.
We're becoming our dads, where it's like the TV could be at max volume and like it'll just fall asleep.
5 seconds into a movie and you're just out completely.
Saw the set that we were there for, which is a band called Avatar. They're a Swedish band. Their set was interesting. Not my kind of music, but pretty interesting. Reminded me a little bit of Panic at the Disco.
Really?
With how they did their theatrics.
Oh, like the presentation on stage.
Pretty much, yeah. But then as we were waiting for the headliner, they were like taking their time to set up. I was like, okay, this is my next chance to just rest.
Nap time.
Pretty much, yeah. And then woke up 5 minutes later. I think I woke up like as they were like getting ready to get on stage because the lights went down.
Right.
My brain went, oh, sleep time.
There's no light, so we can go to bed
There
now.
are no lights. I fell asleep through that entire set.
Oh no.
Woke up at the very last song when they were like doing like the streamers and the balloons and whatnot. I'm like, oh yay, it's over. It's time to go home.
I love this story from someone else's perspective. Just seeing you laying there, it would be hilarious to hear them tell it.
I kind of wish that I did make a friend who was sitting behind me because I wanted to like just be like, so what was going on?
How was the concert? I was not here for it mentally.
I was not. I was there physically. Mentally, I was very checked out.
I don't think I've never been to that point where I fell asleep. Well, first of all, I've never sat down at a show.
Ah, okay.
And secondly, I've never like fallen asleep at a movie or anything like that. So I think that's next for you, to fall asleep at a movie.
The thing is, I watched a movie on Tuesday, and with how boring that movie was and like not to my expectations, I was awake for the whole thing.
No, that's good at least.
Yeah.
I remember whenever my friends wanted to go see Zodiac.
Sure. I'm not a movie person.
Yeah, it was a while back, and it was about the Zodiac killer.
Ah, okay.
In San Francisco. They didn't tell me it was 3 hours long of a movie.
Oh.
So we're like to that point where, and you've showed me some Bollywood movies where I'm like, okay, we're reaching the end point. And then I see, oh, we still have 2 more hours. How the hell are we covering 2 more hours when here's the end? That's how it was for the Zodiac. It was, okay, we're coming to a conclusion. And then I'm like, okay, well, conclusion, we're at the conclusion where and it's like that went on for another 2 hours, and like it seemed like the conclusion was over and the movie was still going, and it got to the point where I'm just texting people. Like we were in the very back, no one was behind me, so I wasn't distracting anyone. I'm just like, I'm bored. I can't sit anymore. This is so boring.
Aw.
But meanwhile, I took my dad out to the movies once, and 20 minutes into the movie, he was sleeping. It's like, all right, cool. Glad you got to see this movie.
That was my weekend. Pretty much my week, actually. I didn't do anything else.
With all your recovery time, yeah, I can imagine.
I needed that week to recover.
Welcome to my life, because every time there's a super long hike and it's very steep, I am fucked for the entire week of walking.
I don't like that.
It sucks. Now you know my pain.
I don't like where my life is headed.
I am your future.
I don't like it.
Thanks. That makes me feel so much better about myself.
You're welcome.
So I was a little bit late getting to recording.
You were.
Because I was being an impromptu plumber and trying to fix my sinks.
Fun.
Yeah.
I was sitting here waiting for you, by the way.
I know. It was nothing like too major. It was just had to fix like the handles and the pieces inside. Came to realize that there's nuts that hold down that piece. And I quickly learned that you need to tighten those things down, both of them, not just one, both of them before you turn any water back on to the handles. So I tightened down the cold water because that's the one I'm working on. I hand tightened the hot water. I'm like, cool, I'll get to that whenever I'm ready to do that. Activate the cold water. And the hot water capsule inside shoots out of the sink up into the ceiling. Water is spraying everywhere like it's Old Faithful.
Oh, no. Wait, what shoots up? The handle?
No, well, the handle was off. It's the capsule inside that controls whether the water moves or not.
Gotcha.
That shot, and it's a geyser of water pouring out of the sink, like shooting across everything.
Oh.
So yeah, lesson learned, if you're going to be working on your sink, make sure both of the nuts are completely tightened because apparently the cold water also controls the hot water and I didn't know that.
Woo.
So I had to I put all that together and then I had to clean up everything. I had to go back and wipe down everything, make sure all the water's cleaned up.
I can't imagine the cleanup job on that.
I was annoyed with myself because it should have been common sense, but first time ever doing that, I'm like, I could understand why I wouldn't think of that. But we're all good. It's all fixed.
Yay! Finally. You've been complaining about that sink for a very long time, too.
That sink has been broken for a very long time. And I live at an apartment, so I could just call maintenance and have them fix it. But
I was going to say that. Like, why not make them do it?
Because I have a dog that does not like strangers. So
that's true.
It goes back to what we've talked about in the past on other episodes.
Mm-hmm.
If the easier route is me doing it myself and avoiding the human contact,
yeah,
and having to deal with all these troubles, I'm just gonna do it myself.
True.
Because it's gonna be like, oh, I don't get to control the time or the day that they come here.
Mm-hmm.
So then they're gonna be like, oh, we're coming tomorrow. Oh, now I gotta do something with the dog.
Right.
In 24 hours. It's just a pain. I don't want to deal with it. But aside from that, I just really haven't been doing anything else.
So, okay, we've talked about movies. Everyone knows I'm not a movie person. Why? Okay, I don't know if you know the answer to this, but I know there's a new Beetlejuice movie coming out.
Okay, I didn't even know that.
Why is everyone, I just keep seeing it everywhere, but I don't understand why people are going crazy over it.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen the first one, obviously.
The first one I feel like came out whenever I was a child. If that.
Yeah, I was looking at that, the first one. It was 1980 something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I wasn't born yet. So it's just I maybe just saw it later on at some point, I guess.
Probably.
Jeez. So there's going to be a remake?
I think it's a sequel.
Where to spend 30 years later to then do a sequel?
I don't know. That's why I'm wondering, why is everyone going crazy over it?
Do you think it's just a cult classic?
Is it?
I'm asking. I don't know. Is it?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't watched it, so I don't know.
Maybe it's just one of those things like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Maybe. Like a Halloween thing.
Yeah, it's not a great movie. I watched it. I thought it was decent. But people go out of their way to buy merchandise of Jack Skellington and stuff. All the little emo kids with their Jack Skellington backpacks.
Oh, man, I remember that. Jeez.
Maybe that's just all it is. I don't know.
Probably, yeah.
Because even with my very limited memory of that movie, I don't remember it being fantastic. Maybe for the time it was.
I guess. Sorry, I'm looking at I was looking at who the cast is and whatnot. It's Michael Keaton and Winona Ryder.
That's the original one. Wait, so they're coming back?
They're... Mm-hmm. And then it's Jenna Ortega, who's the daughter.
That girl has been blowing up.
I really like that for her because she's a good actress in my opinion.
Yeah, we first saw her on You?
On You, yeah. As a child.
Yeah, as a child, and now she has all these huge roles.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy that... Well, also Jenna Ortega played what's her face? Wednesday?
Yes.
So that she would fit perfectly into this universe.
It makes sense, yeah.
But that's great that they're getting the original two people in there.
Yeah.
I like that. I might be curious. It should be one of those things that we see the original and then watch this one after.
Yeah. If we can find the original.
That is very true.
But speaking of franchises.
Oh, no.
So I'm sure everyone has heard, I'm sure you have heard about the lawsuit that Disney is in.
Whenever I read this headline, I thought it was on the Onion or something.
Honestly, same.
It is so obscure and so ridiculous.
Right?
That how is this reality?
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Disney is being sued because at one of their parks, a lady who was having lunch or whatever got an allergic reaction and passed away. And her husband, who's acting on behalf of her, sued Disney, and they're like, yeah, that's not going to happen because you signed the terms and service of Disney Plus. So if you're watching Disney Plus, you can't sue them.
Which is the most absurd.
It's the most ridiculous thing it's just the most crazy thing to see.
Imagine like we have Netflix and just like
I was just gonna bring up a Netflix.
Just like 10 years down the road, something happens and it's like, oh, it looks like you signed up for Netflix and you agreed to their terms of service, so we can't do this. It's like, what the hell? This says the two are not related at all.
That, and it's like he's acting upon her estate basically on behalf of her. He's the one who signed up for Disney Plus, not her.
Right.
So
but still, it's two separate entities.
Exactly.
Regardless of who signed up for what, it doesn't matter. It's like, just because I sign up for a credit card does not mean I cannot sue a business down the road because I signed up for that credit card.
Exactly, yeah.
Ridiculous. And like the fact that they even let it go that far, like who was like, you know what, this is a great idea. Let's go forward with it. And then after all the backlash, be like, guys, they signed the terms and services. Like this is already a bad image for you.
Wait, for Disney?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, they're like a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. Like, they don't care.
Exactly. But that's the thing is all they had to do, multi-billions. Here's a minuscule amount of money that you just have to pay out. Be like, oh, we're sorry. Here you go. And you're done.
No, but why would they? Because they're Mr. Krabs out here just scrimping and saving for every single last dollar that they could get their hands on.
My dollar.
But I'm curious to see like how this ends up because they were pushing for it to be dismissed because basically it was like forced arbitration, which just a quick definition means that this lawsuit won't be seen in front of a judge.
Oh, okay.
It's a third party who's overseeing both sides and like hearing both arguments.
Oh, yeah. I can't imagine if they continue to push for this. It's just, I mean, who am I to say? It's not going to change anything. If they go through and they say, oh, screw you, we're not going to pay it, people are still going to keep going and keep giving them money.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's been so many cases of like, and opportunities of like, you guys need to like stop watching Disney Plus and boycott Disney. But it's like the majority of people just don't care because they want to watch their Disney princesses on TV.
Same goes for Amazon. It's like, hey, if you just stop buying shit from Amazon, then Jeff Bezos won't have the money to keep being a shitty person. And no one cares. They just keep buying the stuff anyways because it's convenient. And that's the sad reality we're in right now.
Yeah.
But that's insane. Imagine, I don't know. You've never been to Disney, right?
I was a kid, yes.
Oh, you have been?
Mm-hmm.
I've never been, and I'm just like, I don't have any urge to go to Disney.
I don't get what the whole Disney adult thing is.
It's kind of creepy, for me at least.
I don't like it.
The fact that, like, especially those who go every single year is like,
oh,
why?
Why?
I can see if there's a new thing they built, and okay, you want to go see the new thing, but if nothing changes, what are you going for all the time?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's the same goes for like amusement parks. There's an amusement park in Pittsburgh, the only one we had, and it's like, oh, go over this year. Oh, go the next year. But then after that, I'm like, we've already gone. There's no new rides. Why do I want to go back to that? And that's a small version of Disney. So
pretty much, yeah. There's a water park here, but we don't go every year. It's like, oh, it's been like 5 years since we last went. Let's go again and just hang out.
Right. Give it some time.
And then the people who like wear costumes to go to these parks, it's like...
that's a thing?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's a scary thing. I don't like it. Like people will put on like a full face full of makeup, like these giant costumes and like whatever, and like coordinate with each other if they're traveling in groups. And it's like, I don't understand. Like I get you're excited. I get you're a fan, but like Why?
Yeah, that seems like a little too far.
I mean, with that, it's like if you're going to be going on rides, you kind of don't want to be in a place where things can get caught on the mechanics.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
I remember way back in the day that there was this is in California, in Santa Cruz, there is a boardwalk with a lot of different like rides and like
Oh, yeah. I've been on there.
just a fun place to be.
Mm-hmm.
This girl had her hair down on the Ferris wheel, and her like as you go down, like obviously if gravity takes your hair up, and this girl's hair got tangled into the mechanics of the Ferris wheel
Oh, no.
and basically almost decapitated her.
Oh. The older I get, the more terrified I am of those rides.
Yeah.
Like, we keep seeing more and more stuff coming out, like rides breaking down, and like, no, thank you. This
No.
is just when you're a kid, everything is perfect in the world and nothing can hurt you.
Especially when you hear more and more about different rides breaking down. Like that one in like Portland or whatever, where there's like that thing that goes upside down and like holds you there for a little, like a split second and forces you back down.
I never heard this one. What happened with that?
So it was going up, like people were in like a little circle thing, and it takes you up and it pauses for a brief second before like gravity takes over and forces you all back down. As it was upside down, it broke.
Oh, no.
And so I think for about like 8 hours, people were just upside down in the air as they were trying to figure out how to bring people back down. To be upside down for 8 hours, all the blood rushes to your head. Like,
No, thank you.
oh my God.
Yeah, the same thing happened with the amusement park I just talked about in Pittsburgh, where I think it was Pittsburgh. Those rides where they like pick you up to the very, very top, and then like without you knowing when it's gonna happen, it drops you.
Oh, those free falls.
Yeah, so that happened, and the one kid's harness wasn't attached correctly, so whenever it went down, he went up because he wasn't attached to the ride anymore, and he died because of it.
Oh no.
I know. So it's like that one little, like these little fears that you're like, oh, that could never happen. It does happen in the world. And it's like, oh, geez, I never want to touch these rides again. That was
almost to me, because I remember way back in the day, we went to this amusement park in Vancouver, BC. And the attendants were like going around and securing everybody. Almost forgot me. So I had to be like, excuse me. Help. To think that this ride could have gone up with me unharnessed to anything and I could have died. Terrifying. Especially because I love free falls. I love heights. I love thrill rides.
Nope.
You don't?
Not the free falls.
Oh, really?
It's something about with like my brother forced me to go on one before.
Okay.
Just the anxiety waiting at the top of when is this going to drop, and it should have dropped by now. How come it didn't drop? Is he going to push? I think we're stuck up here. And then it finally drops, and I'm just screaming my lungs out because I'm terrified and like, no, thank you.
I think you did tell me once that you are afraid of heights, because I remember when we took like this trip to the Museum of Flight, like just to hang out. We were on this like, how high can this hot air balloon thing go? And it's like a little balcony, like standing over the second floor, and I just like jumped up and down, and you got so scared.
I remember that because I remember just like the tingle in my spine. I'm just like, oh no, please don't, because you're gonna fall.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that I don't do well with heights.
I figured.
So whenever I first moved out here, my job was I worked at a concrete forming place.
Okay.
Pretty much is these metal fucking plates or whatever that you put up, and then you pour concrete in between the plates, and it makes the walls.
Oh, okay.
Super boring. But the one time I went on this little like a trip down into Seattle because our company was working on the new Amazon building.
Oh, okay.
And I thought we were just gonna go look at the thing and be like, cool. Do you guys have any, like, you guys seem to have a problem. Let's figure that out. Okay, we're good to go. Let's go. We had to climb up on this building with scaffolding and these like these railings and whatnot. And they were our railings. I'm like, okay, well, it's the company I work for. I should be trusting these railings, but I don't trust these railings. I don't want to get anywhere near it. We're so high up on a building that's not even done being built. And I was just grabbing on anything I could to just keep my focus. Like, don't look down, just keep walking forward, grab on everything, stay stable. How much would it take for you to climb up those very tall towers to change the light bulb at the top?
I was talking about that at work because it was like, that'd be a really fun job to have.
You think so?
Just to do that twice a year or whatever and get like, what, $60,000?
They make good money
They do.
for just climbing up really, really high and changing one light bulb.
I mean, you're harnessed, right?
Clear, yeah, you have the straps and you have the clips and whatnot to keep you from dying, but
Yeah.
would you actually do it? That pause.
It sounds fun in theory.
It sounds easy in theory, kind of.
Mm-hmm. What I don't understand, though, it's like we have aircrafts now. There's smaller kit planes, helicopters, whatnot.
Right.
Why not take that to change it?
At this point, you could have a drone that you fly up there and can probably do the same job.
True. But are we really trusting robots right now?
No, I mean, like those... I'm sure that you could rig something up to work. But yeah, I've always thought that too. You're setting up a human to climb for what, an hour or something up this tower, change the light bulb, and then climb back down. And that's all.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be better ways to do this. I don't know. I always think that too, like, oh, the safety of it, I could probably do it. But then imagine you get all the way to the top and you're like, oh, I forgot my screwdriver. Oh yeah, that was the one tool I needed for this.
Are they paid salary or hourly?
If it was hourly, I'm taking my good old time.
I was just going to say that if it's hourly, I'm taking from dawn until afternoon the next day.
Just making sure every little strap is perfectly attached. Like, I'm not falling or
Let's take it
anything.
very slow. Go over my checklist a few times.
Do I have everything? Now I got to triple check that I have everything.
Oh no, I forgot. Well, let me go back.
I don't know if they're building inspectors or whatnot, but they have to climb on the outside of skyscrapers. Like, you got to transfer from one ladder to another ladder on the opposite wall and like Spider-Man around to grab that other ladder. I'm like, fuck no. You could not pay me enough to do that.
I wonder how that passed inspections.
That too. How is that not designed?
How is that not an OSHA violation?
That's one of my favorite subreddits. If you ever check out, like, I think it's called just r/OSHA.
Oh, okay.
And it's exactly that. It's things that are clearly not OSHA verified.
I think I've seen some of that pop up on my Instagram page.
Okay.
Or like the explore page of just like snippets of different OSHA violations under that subreddit.
It's crazy the lengths people will go to just save a little bit of money and not have to pay for the safety stuff.
That's capitalism for you.
Oh, yeah.
America. We are number one.
In other news,
Uh-oh.
did you hear about the lady who is now going to court because she had sex with a fish?
Whoa. What is that, bestiality?
Yes, very much so.
Wait, who's taking her to court?
I don't know. So apparently, like, she filmed herself having sexual activity with a brown trout.
Ew.
And it was in Tasmania.
The land down under.
Yes. So now she's being like charged for bestiality things because, okay, if you're going to do stuff illegally, why are you filming it and putting it online?
Honestly.
We talked about this
And then,
before.
okay, hang on. And then why not just go all out?
What are you?
Why just a fish? Why a fish? Why not like a bear or like a fucking dingo wherever you are, Tasmania? Why not a dingo?
A bear.
Get one of those things. Go all out.
Now we know where your brain is.
I'm just saying, if you're going to do something illegal and you know that you might get caught and you can only do it once, why not go all out?
We need to talk to Mr. Hands for that one.
You have hands.
Do you not know who that is?
No.
It's local to us.
Really?
Yep.
I have no clue.
Oh boy, this is early internet. Did you ever hear about the guy who had sex with a horse?
Briefly, I wasn't allowed to go onto the weird side of the internet.
Neither was I, but I still found it.
Of course you did.
But that happened down in down south, Enumclaw.
I mean, makes sense, but
Yeah, so if anyone who knows Mr. Hands, that was in Washington State. It's more
Whoa.
south. But yeah, I think he
really
died.
putting ourselves on a map here.
I know. He died, though. Of course, you don't
Oh.
survive getting speared by a horse penis into your organs.
Rest in peace, sis.
It's like when the animal's dick is as big as your entire body, maybe you shouldn't be having that inside you.
Avoid. Maybe avoid.
Okay, so I need to ask, you already brought it into the zone. I need to ask, what would be the most extreme animal to try to have sex with? For you, it's a much different answer than for me.
That's very true. Yes. Like a big cat.
A big cat. Tiger Queen over here.
Yes.
Why? Okay, why a cat?
I don't know. It just seemed the most logical thing in my head.
Regardless, this is the weirdest conversation to be putting on the internet.
This is the weirdest conversation we've ever had. I don't know. It's like, okay, have you ever seen in real life, like, an animal's dick?
I did not know where you were going to go with that.
No, I'm just asking because, like, if you go to zoos and, like, you'll see, like, animals, like, grooming themselves and, like, cleaning themselves.
I once watched a monkey masturbate.
I once watched a lion was just hanging around and his dick just came out.
Just was out.
Was just out.
I feel like before we get too far away, I feel like I need to explain my story a little bit more.
Please do.
I can't just
You
leave
can't
it at that. Before I know, we're off on like 20 other tangents, and they're like, "Why did you watch a monkey masturbate? What is he doing?"
Was this on like online or is this a weird fetish you have?
They're almost like us. They're almost human. So I was at a zoo with my ex or girlfriend at the time. And we're walking around, and then we get to the monkey exhibit, and like it's those little tiny little monkeys. I don't know what they're called.
Capuchin monkeys?
Pretty much, yeah. And there's one right next to the glass, and we're like, oh, cool. And like we stop and we're like, hey, little monkey. And like he has this weird look on his face.
Oh no.
Like it's like a smile. Like, ah.
If you guys could only see this face right now.
And he was staring at my girlfriend, and I was like, what is this face he's doing? And I see his arm moving really fast. And I'm like, what does he do? Oh my God, he's masturbating right now, just staring at us.
Must have really liked your girlfriend.
I guess so. And is really showing dominance there, I guess, because I'm like, I'm not going to try to outdo you right now in the middle of the zoo.
I'm not fighting that.
And so then I don't know what happened, but then he just runs off and he's like jumping around with his dick flopping all around as he's jumping from branch to branch. Like, I feel like I just got sexually assaulted by a monkey.
Okay, going off on that, like those gorillas you just see that are like being themselves. There's like this one gif that's like the monkey or the gorilla just twirling around
Like a ballerina, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. Harambe lives on.
I love watching those videos where like the gorilla will go, like a baby gorilla goes up to like the dad gorilla and just like slaps the dad and runs away. So go out, they really are a lot like us.
Before we get too far off though, what would be the animal that you do?
I thought we were going to get far away from this that I didn't even have to answer. I was really trying to, like,
I'm not gonna let you away with this one.
I was really trying to push the conversation away from that so we could just get away from it. Like, oh, look at Kenny's being the weird one answering that question, and I'm going to get distance myself.
Wow, really throwing me under the bus here. Jeez.
Honestly, I think the most sane answer would be a dolphin, because I've heard that it's a lot very close to a human.
Sure. I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know either, but that's what I heard. If you've ever seen a dolphin's dick, it looks just like a human's dick.
You were wanting to have sex with a male dolphin?
No, I just meant for you.
I'm talking about you.
No, I know. I'm saying dolphin. It goes back to the whole thing with like what Pokemon would you have sex with? And like back in the day, it was like Vaporeon, because it seems like it would be wettest. That's so weird to say.
Jeez. Okay.
Anyways.
Yeah, let's move on there. We need to limit this because we're gonna get flagged for sure.
I know. There's definitely not shorts coming out with that one.
No. If you guys see this on shorts and want a more detailed explanation of what's going on, watch the entire episode.
But I mean, to even go further into this whole fish thing, do you know like celebrities?
Why are we doing this fish thing?
What?
Why are we being obsessed with fish today?
No, this works. That's another thing. We're already talking about the fish thing. Let's just go all in on this at this point.
Okay. It's like the Way of Water over here. Is that the movie, right? Way of Water?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where, like, there's that water creature that has sex with a lady or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't know anything about that movie aside from that one fact.
I only remember watching a trailer and I was like, why is this even a movie? Who came up with this concept? I would like to have a chat with them.
Clearly, it is a fetish probably that they want to get out there. Actually, that was Guillermo del Toro, right? I think he's the one who made that.
I don't know. Somebody did.
Anyways, fish. Do you know that celebrities are rubbing or getting salmon sperm facials?
Ew. Why?
Apparently,
okay, hang on. Have we really strayed that far away from snail mucin?
The what? What is that?
Snail mucin is a fad. I think it's a fad that women have been putting on their faces for skincare.
What is mucin though? Mucus?
Snail secretion. It's the goo that comes out of the snails when they travel.
Right.
And apparently it helps with anti-aging, anti-inflammatory properties, and may help from breakouts and protect your skin from cancer. Have we really strayed this far away that we really need fish?
Well, apparently the fish thing does the exact same thing as the snail thing.
Who is coming up with these skincare routines?
Yeah, who saw a fish and was like, you know what? This could work for facials.
Putting this on my face.
Taking the facial thing to the
Whatever happened to just regular face masks?
Or just regular facials. Just get your partner.
Yeah, exactly. The more sane thing.
I could see that click in your head. You're like, what? Oh, there it is. Yeah, apparently there's a lot of studies. I don't know what scientist is working on these studies, but there are studies that are like, oh yeah, this is an actual thing. It's just it acts as anti-aging and anti-inflammatory. Everything you said about
you guys
thing.
Just take vitamins, please. Leave the salmon alone.
So one of the people who did these is Jennifer Aniston, and if anything, she is really selling it because she looks like she hasn't aged one bit.
It's her genetics, not even the salmon cum. Like, have you seen how she looked like way back then and how she looks like now? It's all genetic.
Yeah. I mean, the same goes for like Keanu Reeves.
True.
Where everyone's like, oh yeah, this, he never ages. But then you look and you're like, if you compare side by side, he clearly has a little bit.
Yeah. Like, that's what it is. But it's like, do you guys really think that it's going to help you?
Plus, on top of that, the amount of other stuff they're doing because they have the money to do it.
Exactly.
Like, I can only imagine people running out and just grabbing a salmon and trying to like jerk it off to like get it.
I need more.
The celebrities are doing this. I'm going to do it too. Then they get arrested for it. And it's
Poor fish.
I just want to know like the person who came up with this to sell it to rich people.
Yeah, really.
That seems to be the biggest thing. If you can like come up with the dumbest product, as long as you could just sell it to some rich people, you're set.
What should we come up with?
That's what I was wondering. What would be the thing that like...
Because I don't want to work anymore.
Like I saw this thing of this lady who does biting massages.
What is that?
Exactly as it sounds.
So they're just biting people.
Yes. You lay there and instead of a massage with her hands, she uses her teeth and bites you all over.
Ew, why?
Because it works.
Isn't that how you also get diseases? Like, honestly, yes. That's a question.
Maybe. I don't know. But well, I guess from if the person you're biting.
If you break skin, like,
Well, it's not breaking skin. It's
well,
I don't think you're breaking skin.
I would hope you don't break skin.
But like she caters it to celebrities. Like celebrities pay her to come and bite them all over their body. It's so strange. It's like, are you that bored that that's where you're spending your money on?
Yeah, really.
I need that. Like, it's one of those things of
What would be the weirdest thing you do
if
you had that kind of money?
Like how much money, or just unlimited money?
If you had the same amount of money as Jeff Bezos right now, what would you do? What would be the weirdest thing you do? Not get.
Weirdest.
Do.
Weirdest thing I would do. Oh, geez. That's a tough question. Because I'm thinking like, okay, immediately, first thing I would do with the house, like I would love to have a house with a ton of trapdoors and like secret passages to get everywhere.
Yeah, but that's not weird.
That's not weird. Well, it's a little bit weird.
That's borderline crazy, but not weird.
I would love to have one of those, like the paintings that the eye holes come out and like you put your eyes up against the eye holes of the painting to look at.
Ew, why?
If you're gonna have the secret passages, just go all out and do that too.
Just put in a clown while you're at it.
There you go.
Make it a fun house.
Just have a clown that chases you around the house. I honestly can't even give you an answer. I wish I could come up with something funny, but like my brain isn't even thinking of something.
I would probably bury myself alive.
Why?
Just to see how it is. I mean, obviously there's gonna be like paramedics and everybody standing there and like monitoring, but I just want to see what it's like being buried alive.
I think we could just pull that off now.
Excuse me? Hey, you wouldn't have this if I weren't here.
Would have what?
This podcast.
Oh.
So if I'm gone, you're on your own.
No, we're fine. We're gonna dig a hole, put you in a box, cover up the hole, and then you're good. Easy peasy.
Wow.
We can do that. We can do that on the cheap.
Fuck you. Give me at least air holes.
That's not being buried alive. You want the full experience.
Okay, then at least have then have paramedics on site then.
Sure, we can have that. But you're still gonna.
I don't trust you at all with the tone you have right now. I don't trust your tone.
I don't think you understand how dangerous that is.
I said weird, not dangerous.
That is dangerous.
That is weird because at least I'm not going to be alone.
And what the other bodies around you?
With people above Earth.
Well, true.
You're going to be alive. You better take me out. Once that timer hits, you better dig me out.
How long are you staying in?
1 minute.
You're putting in all that effort for. Okay, then yes, this is when you're rich because the amount of money you need to spend for 1 minute of being underground.
Yes. I'd get bored. There's nothing to do underground.
That's the point. I can imagine you sneaking in your Steam Deck or something and just spending a couple hours down there playing a game.
Pew, 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 pew.
Did you see the beds that I think they're only consoles right now, but it's supposed to be like earthquake beds? Pretty much at the sign of an earthquake, the bed will collapse in on itself and have these metal things that go over top of you.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
So pretty much you go down with the building and you're in this metal casket with like supplies until people find you. How terrifying would that be?
That'd be scary because at least decorated so that it's known that it's not part of the building. It's a
rescue device.
Rescue device. Yeah. Just have like a sign on it that just says "Open me." So somebody trapped in here.
Open me, please. Please open human inside. My thing too is what activates that, because what if you're having sex really hard and then all of a sudden you sink into the bed and like it closes on top of you?
Then you keep going.
I guess, but then it's like, guys, let us out and like call 911.
I wonder if that has like a quick release like lever or something to open it from the inside.
I would hope so if it's like properly designed.
Yeah.
But that'd be like, especially if you're a heavy sleeper and you just wake up and you're in the casket thing, you're like, what happened? But I wish I could think of something weird. So I don't know. I just never thought about, usually if it's like, oh, if I win the lottery, I'm going to do this. It's always like a business idea or something. I'm never like, oh, I want to pay 100 Chinese ladies to pee on my face.
There you go. That could be a weird thing. You need to take that back. You're just offending a whole entire group of people here.
How's that offending them?
You want them specifically to pee on your face.
No, hold on before we get too far into this. I am not saying that's what I want. I'm saying as an example to what would be weird.
Okay.
I do not.
I'm glad to know you don't have a fetish.
Not me. I don't want that to be misconstrued at all. Yeah, I can't think of an odd thing. I don't know why. It's just, I've never thought of, if I just had the money, I could do this. Kind of like the movie Hostel. Like, it's just rich people paying to murder other people.
I don't know. I don't watch that movie.
I know. Every time I make a movie reference, I can just see you blank out, and you're just
whatever
like,
you say.
I don't know. Sure.
It's to the point where you could like name any fake movie with any fake plot, and I would think it was real.
Oh, that's a good idea.
For what? To bamboozle me? You better not.
We need to do a little game. We could make a game out of that
and sell it. Let's make money.
No. I mean, on one of these episodes, I want to write down a few movie like synopses. And present them to you and see if you can figure out which one is real and which one is false.
Okay, well, I want to first say that this game is copyright. We're using it. This is our idea. You guys better not make it this into any sort of card game or anything. This is mine and mine alone. I will get to it one day.
Maybe by next episode, I'll have everything written up and we should try this out.
Okay.
Just to see if we...
Something new.
Yeah. Because I wonder... hopefully I'm creative enough that I can actually make something believable.
I think you are.
All right, well, that's something to look forward to for next week. I'm excited. I really want to see how well you do.
You're going to start the second we log off.
Pretty much. But yeah, so that has been the episode this week. If you liked it, be sure to rate, comment, subscribe. Be right.
Again? What the fuck
I always lose it right
Get
at the
it
end.
right.
Be sure to rate, comment, subscribe, do all the social stuff. Follow all of our socials at Intersint Pod, and we will see you next week.
That is correct. Bye.